Hello, hello. Hopefully the audio, since we've had some trouble recording in the past, but it looks like it's running smoothly. So, welcome back to a new week. This is the final week, I'm pretty sure. Yes, it's the final week. And for our last Monday playlist, we've done 60s, 70s, 80s, and now we're moving on to, I bet you can guess it, the 90s. So, getting right into it are obviously, as I've said for all the other decade playlists, is there are lots of great songs from this period. You can't fit them all into 10 songs, but we're gonna try. So, starting off with number one in no particular order is Can I Kick It by Tribe Called Quest. So, as you'll be able to tell by my top 10, is hip hop is really coming into the main listening here, and it's really gaining traction. So there's going to be much more hip hop than there used to be in rap than was around in the previous decade. So Can I Kick It? A Tribe Called Quest is definitely a personal favorite of mine, and something I really like about the '90s rap as opposed to what's being made today is it flows just so smoothly in a way that you don't hear too often nowadays. And Can I Kick It is a perfect example. And really, a lot of Tribe Called Quest stuff does this as well. So, moving on is it wouldn't be a Cyrus's Music podcast without sneaking in a little bit of reggae in there. So there's actually some newer reggae that is now originating from not the Caribbean or Jamaica, which is Santeria by Sublime. So Sublime's coming around in the '90s and is a personal favorite band of mine, making new music up here in the States. And speaking of music in the States, is Californication at number three by the Red Hot Chili Peppers. So pretty much everyone over the age of 20, I would say, knows this song. And probably because either you've gotten sick of it or because you love it. And there probably isn't too much in between. And I am one of the lovers of Californication and of the Red Hot Chili Peppers, in fact. I know there are quite a few people out there that really dislike them, but not one of them. So, moving on. So, Californication is somewhat of a chill song, and sticking with the chill, but switching over to rap again, is 93 Till Infinity by the Souls of Mischief. And this one is probably my favorite '90s rap song of all time. The flow is just so incredible, and the beat matches the verse perfectly. It is, in my opinion, what a rap song of the '90s should be like, and what artists should strive for, pretty much, is this song, 93 Till Infinity. And moving on, number five, more hip hop or rap, is Regulate by Nate Dogg and Warren G. So if you want smoothness, Warren G is the man for you. And Regulate is so smooth. It's pretty incredible, actually, how well the song just flows. And moving on to another song that flows beautifully, that's probably a little bit more well known, is Big Papa by the Notorious B.I.G. So if you know, who am I kidding? You know this song. People know this song, and if you don't, go listen to it. It is one of the best songs coming out of the '90s. Rest in peace to the Notorious, and definitely worth a listen, and definitely deserving of a '90s playlist. And now moving away from rap is Birdhouse in Your Soul by They Might Be Giants. So this one is very different than the last three or four songs I've been talking about, but definitely a favorite of mine. I think this comes from my parents actually, who were big They Might Be Giants fans, and so their love of the band has transferred over to me a little bit, I guess. And so Birdhouse in Your Soul, great song, generational love in my family, definitely deserves the '90s playlist. And number eight is a song I found somewhat recently actually, and I can't remember now if I've put it on a Friday favorite or not, but yeah, I don't remember at this point. But I wouldn't be surprised if it's on there, is Friday I'm in Love by The Cure. So this song is definitely the sappiest, and also the sweetest song on this playlist. Definitely, if you got a special someone out there, then this song is something that you can play thinking about them or play with them. It's just a very good all-around song. Yeah, so Friday I'm in Love by The Cure. And moving on to number 9 is Bombastic by Shaggy. So a lot of people know this. So people know this song for two different reasons. So if you were someone growing up in or around the 90s, you know this song because it was super popular. And if you're someone who's my age, give or take 3, 4 years, you probably know this song because of the Biggie Cheese meme where he rapped this song Boombastic. For those of you that don't know, Biggie Cheese is a very fat rat who, I think it's a clip from a movie that became a meme where this large rat raps to Bombastic by Shaggy. And I first found this song through the meme, and then as I kept listening to it, I was like, man, this song is actually really good. So Bombastic needed some Shaggy on the playlist. Definitely recommend checking it out. The other song I was going to put on there is It Wasn't Me, but I was checking it, and It Wasn't Me actually came out in the year 2000, and so would technically not fit onto the 90s playlist, which personally I enjoy It Wasn't Me more than Bombastic, but you win some, you lose some. So Bombastic gets a spot on the 90s playlist. And for number 10, the last song of the playlist is Losing My Religion by REM. So I wanted an REM song on there because, like They Might Be Giants, my parents were also fans of REM. And so I grew up listening to a lot of their music. And now that I am older and make my own musical decisions, not just what my parents play or the radio, I keep coming back to this song. I think it's really, really solid. It was for this playlist, I didn't want to put too much REM on there. So the two big ones I was going between was this one, Losing My Religion, and Man on the Moon. So I would say if I could make an 11 song playlist, I would stick those two on it. But only 10 songs means only one REM song. So definitely also check out Man on the Moon by REM if you're listening along to these playlists. But for the one that makes the cut is Losing My Religion, just one that I personally enjoy a little bit more. And that will wrap up the final Monday playlist. This is the 90s, which features my 10 songs, which are Can I Kick It by A Tribe Called Quest, Santeria by Sublime, Californication by the Red Hot Chili Peppers, 93 Till Infinity by Souls of Mischief, Regulate by Warren G and Nate Dogg, Big Papa by The Notorious B.I.G., Birdhouse in Your Soul by They Might Be Giants, Friday I'm in Love by The Cure, Bombastic by Shaggy, and Losing My Religion by REM. Keep listening for this week's special Wednesday album. In fact, not a solo and not with a friend, but with the creator of the album himself, Humongous Dre. And welcome back to Cyrus' Music Podcast. Today we have another special section. Where am I going to put this? Let's go right there. So today's a little bit different. So usually we record these podcast sections reviewing major albums produced by artists that I could never talk to in real life. But today it's different. We have Humongous Dre himself with his newest album that just released, as of recording this, about 10 hours ago. Humongous Dre, welcome.
Thank you for bringing me on, and oh my god, oh, you can stop now. Oh, thank you so much. Really, you can stop. All right, thank you. I'm an upcoming rapper.
Yep.
I started from the bottom, and I'm gonna be up there with the famous musical artists like Kanye and Drake. It's only the beginning, and you're sitting with me at the start of my adventure.
I believe it. So here we are in the presence of greatness right now. So what should I be calling you? Should I call you by your real name? Should I call you Humongous Dre?
Whatever You want to call me. You've known me for such a long time.
That's a good point.
You know, Andre is a, name that just comes up in your mind.
Mm-hmm.
But now we're in a different point of our lives where I'm probably going to move out to LA, perform big concerts at Coachella,
Yeah.
So, just call me whatever you want.
Kind of feeling Dre, honestly.
Dre? I like that name.
All right, so Dre, how do you feel about your album coming out? What do you think? How do you think it went?
Oh my god. Wow. So,
Mm-hmm.
if you were to tell me like a year ago that I was gonna release music, I would have not believed you. Like I would have been like, what? Like
Yeah.
what are you talking about? And this was 100% influenced by my honors English class, where me and my classmates were given a project to create anything we wanted, and I thought, why not create an album? And honestly, I do not regret doing that. And I remember when I clicked upload, like the album, I was like, oh my gosh. Like I was just like reflecting over my progress and like why I started this, and I was just like, just like what Drake said, started from the bottom and now we're here. So, key inspiration to my music.
Yeah.
And, I'm just, that's really all I have to say. Just grateful, blessed.
I mean, unfortunately, I couldn't stay up till midnight. I was too tired last night.
It's
but
totally fine. You're like a person, like,
Uh-huh.
I've had a friend who had, like, he's going to States for track.
Yep.
And obviously, I want him to be ready for his track meet, and I don't want
of
him to
course.
stay up for my music.
But I have to admit, the first thing I did when I woke up was listening to the new Humongous Dre.
Thank you.
And I have to say, listening, I had some favorites, but as the producer himself, did you have any songs that you liked more than others?
Choosing my favorite song is like choosing a child,
Mm-hmm.
but I do have one child that I absolutely hate.
Really?
Yes, and that song is Blow Up.
Really? You did not like, you weren't a fan of Blow Up?
Blow Up was the first song I worked on, and when I first started creating that song, I had someone to help me out, and
Yep.
I depended on him to do like half of the work, and this guy wasn't good at all. Like, he was absolutely garbage. So I knew how to like cut him off.
Yep.
And he wasn't really determined either, so it was like, I just stopped talking to him and he didn't care, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I started working on my other four songs, and in my opinion, they're so much better. Like Bets, Talentless, Pie, Back Into Business, they're so much better than Blow Up.
Yeah.
I mean,
As a listener of the album myself, so I actually got a feature on the song.
yes,
Pie,
you did. Yes, you
which
did.
I'm very proud of. I think it went well.
That's one of my. You talked about favorite. I think it's either Pie or Back Into Business, which are one of my.
Really,
Just my
I think
favorite.
my personal favorite would be Talentless.
A lot of people said that. I thought not a lot of people were gonna like that.
No, I thought Talentless might have been the best song on the album.
Really?
I think your verse, like the chorus, it flowed masterfully.
Why? Thank you.
And Mo went off.
Really?
For those of you who haven't gotten to the album yet,
Mo
Talentless
Money.
features Mo Money, and let me tell you, Mo Money has bars.
He does have bars.
Alright.
Let me tell you a story. So you were actually there.
I was there.
So two people were supposed to be, two people asked me, can I be featured in the song? And I said yes to both of them.
Mhm.
And for the listeners, like, I couldn't let both of them be featured because I didn't have enough room for my last song, because that was my last song.
Yep.
So they had to do rock, paper, scissors. And Mo Money won the rock, paper, scissors. And I gave Gavin a spot back into business.
Yeah. And Gavin's rap name is Dionicle, yes?
Dionicles, yeah.
Dionicles, right.
He wanted his rapper name to be like that, so rap name, so why not?
All right.
And let me just tell you something, for the fans that don't know, Talentless was for my haters. I mean, I know it says diss track at the end, but
yeah.
A certain person that was featured in one of my songs. Normally, what I do is that I give the song to them just so they could show it to, their friends close to them, their family, their verse. And a certain person shared that song to their girlfriend.
Really?
Yes. And not only that,
And
she didn't like my verse.
she didn't like your
She didn't-
verse?
She was sending me hate.
Wow.
She was saying like, Andre, I think I could do better than you.
Really?
And I was like, oh.
So, as a man of the industry now, do you think there'll be a second album coming out that will be just disses? Or
Just
do you think,
says I cannot do that. I'm
or do
too
you think
nice.
she might come out with an album of her own against you? Or maybe a single? Do you think that can happen?
This certain person, jeez.
Do you think she's up for it? Do you think she can pull it off?
No.
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 You don't think-
Personally, I don't like people ask me who's my competition. I really don't have competition. Like,
Wow.
listen, like I'm so unique that no one can get to my level. That's the difference between like my competitors and me.
Yeah.
So you could try to compete against me. Like you could try to drop an album, but I could just drop a verse, and they're gonna switch genres, just like Machine Gun Kelly
Yep.
when Eminem released that song Kill Shot.
Uh-huh.
You know,
So you would compare yourself to Eminem.
no, I would be
And-
myself better.
Really? So better than Eminem. All right.
Yeah, I mean, what is he like? From Detroit, you know?
Yeah?
He was surrounded by rap. You know, in Bangor, it's not like Detroit. You know,
That's true, that's
we make our own type music, and I feel like I'm just better.
So would you say that
Lyrically, for lyrics, the beats, the melody, chorus, everything.
So would you say that you, Humongous Dre, are pioneering the Bangor flow?
The Bangor flow.
Yep.
Whew, you know, to represent Maine and especially my hometown,
Yep.
Bangor, where I was born and raised.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I feel like we'll let the citizens of Bangor decide.
All right, fair enough. And as our last question for the interview, do you have any advice to up-and-coming rappers who haven't made it as big as you have yet?
Oh yes, actually, I might have started out, but I would definitely give advice where take as much time as you want. For
Yep.
this, I only had a month,
Mm-hmm.
so I think if I had compared to Drake or Kanye, Kendrick, they have a super long time to work on their albums
Yep.
to make sure it's perfect. So take as much time as you need. Also, I said this in my essay. You know, if you really want to if you're gonna do a project to create anything you wanted, you know, and you really want it to be good, work as much as possible on that certain thing. Don't depend on other people to work on the certain project you're trying to do. And make sure you ask for help. You know, if there's something you don't know how to do, ask for help. Big Son, who's
Yep.
featured in the song Bets, he was at my place and he knew about the software I was using to edit my music, so, and he helped me out. And I think he checked over the other music and he definitely improved them. So don't be afraid to ask for help. Make sure you work as much as possible. Take more time working on it. And lastly, make sure you listen to Humongous Dre for some inspiration, some ideas. Because this brain right here is 180 IQ.
180.
Yeah,
Huh?
so that should be the title of my next album, 180 IQ.
That would be something.
Or maybe one of my albums. Or maybe a song. I don't know.
Well, Humongous Dre, it was an honor having you on.
Thank
you
you
very
so
much for
much.
coming out.
Thank you.
Everyone, Humongous Dre on Spotify, out now.
Not
Go
on
check it out.
Spotify.
Oh, not Spotify, my bad.
SoundCloud.
On SoundCloud.
Yeah, maybe I'll try to get it on Spotify. I'll see what I
okay.
can do.
So,
You know,
Humongous Dre.
Thank you for bringing me on.
Yep.
Humong Gang out.
And thank you, Humongous. Awesome section. And here we are back again with the Friday favorites. So this time, it's just me. Humongous Drake could not make it to this one. So it'll be just my 5 songs that I've been listening to a lot this week. So, starting off, we have Skin the Rabbit by Dispatch. So it's kind of a weird name to a song, and the chorus just kind of repeats Skin the Rabbit over again, which is also kind of weird, but it's somehow a really, really good song. So the Dispatch album, I think, what's it called? America Location 12. So that album I've been listening to a lot over the last week, and I already knew a couple songs off it. I knew Painted Yellow Lines and Be Gone, and there was another one, Midnight Lorry. Those are the three I knew off the album already. And so I was like, hey, I know these three songs off the album. I wonder if the rest of it's any good. So I checked it out and I found some more really good songs. But obviously, I don't want my entire Friday favorites to be Dispatch. So I had to pick one, and Skin the Rabbit made this list. And moving on to the second song is Business by Eminem. So, honestly, it's a little embarrassing. I didn't know this song before this week. Like, when I was listening through it, it sounded kind of familiar, but I didn't know any of the words or anything. And it could have just sounded familiar because it's the kind of music I like. And so, for those of you that don't know the song Business, it's almost like an old Batman style song with the intro and the beat to it, but it's very good. It's one of my favorite Eminem songs. I'm not a fan of the like the angry and the sad Eminem. I'm more like when he's flowing and making songs that sound like fun or like upbeat. And this is definitely one of his upbeat songs. And I only found out about it because he just released his what's it called? Well, whatever it's called. It's like the re-release of an old album, but he's re-releasing it because an anniversary. That's what it is. So I think it was the 20th. Pretty sure it was the 20th anniversary of one of his albums, and so he came out with it, and I was listening through it, and I think I only got like two songs into the album when yes, re-release of the Eminem Show of the 20th anniversary. So I was listening through it, and I only got to this song because I liked it so much and had it on repeat for the rest of the day. So Business by Eminem, definitely check that one out. And number three is All Summer Long by Kid Rock. So as of recording this, I got back from a camping trip last weekend, got back from a camping trip, and all summer long, and like the weather was perfect, blue skies, plenty warm, and all summer long is definitely a summer song. So we were driving to the campsite, and it was about 2 hours away, and listening to this song, like windows rolled down, just blue skies, is very, very cool. So all summer long, fantastic summer song as school is wrapping up and we're getting into that summer season. Definitely recommend checking that one out. And for the fourth one, it is N95 by Kendrick Lamar. So Kendrick's album dropped 2, 3, 4 weeks ago, however many weeks ago it was now. And this is the one that I've had on repeat. That and Savior, actually. But I had to pick one, and N95 made the list. So if you still haven't listened to the Kendrick Lamar album yet, Mr. Moral and the Big Steppers, what are you doing? Definitely check it out. N95, personal favorite of mine, been on loop for the past couple weeks. And for the fifth and final song of the section is Good Morning Judge by 10cc. So this song actually I found, and I'm pretty sure I mentioned it. I don't remember if it was a different Friday favorites or if it was one of the decades playlists that I made. But I'm sure I've talked about it on this podcast before. But I found their song Dreadlock Holiday, which I really, really like. And then, but it was by 10cc, so I was like, I wonder if they have any other good stuff. So Spotify, and I'm sure Apple Music does a similar thing, has like a This Is, and then the artist name. So I went to the This Is 10cc playlist, and this was one of the first ones I found, Good Morning Judge. And the best way I think I can describe it is like funky almost. Like it's really fun. It's definitely a song that like if you're with your friends in the car, like driving somewhere this summer, but definitely this summer, like this is a good one to like crank all the way up and do that like goofy like back and forth head thing. Like that's not a bop, like it's not a head bop, but like the kind of bounce almost. So it's a very bouncy song. Definitely recommend checking it out. Another kind of like all summer long, definitely a summer song for the rapidly approaching season. So that is going to wrap up the week 6 yeah, my week, it's going to wrap up my week 6. This is going to be the last week I do a podcast. So thank you guys for tuning in, and hopefully my 2010 presentation goes well. I guess we'll find out soon enough.